Are you excited about the book?
I'm so excited.
If I had a chance, I'd take it faster than...
Hello everyone, welcome back to another reading vlog. As you can tell by the title, it is the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes reading vlog. I've been waiting for this book without knowing it since middle school, and we finally have another book from her, so I'm really excited about it. I haven't been spoiled for anything, surprisingly. People have actually kept their mouth shut so far, but I'm gonna start reading it today because it's release day and I feel like I should read it starting today. This is going to be a spoiler-free vlog just because not a lot of people can get their hands on it today or the coming weeks, so I'll have reactions and whatnot, but I won't go into detail of plot, characters, any of that. But yeah, so everyone can watch this. But here we go. Let's jump right in. Good morning, everyone. I read to page 100 yesterday, and I'm really liking it. I'm just so excited to be reading it. So, it is very cold here where I live. We had like a cold front come through and it's been raining every day. It's raining now, so I'm just wrapped up in a jacket and a blanket and I'm gonna sit and read. So yep, I'll update you when I feel like I have something to share. Okay, I just went to get lunch and I was listening to the audiobook while I was driving. And this is not a spoiler, but the Capitol used to be savage. Like, they showed no mercy. And it's mind-blowing. And Suzanne Collins wrote it very descriptive, so. Hello everyone. So I read to page 255 last night. I don't really have a lot to update you guys on because anything I say will be a spoiler. But I can say this book is completely different than anything I thought it would be. Like, I told you earlier that, or yesterday, that it was very brutal, I think that's what I said. Yeah, it's just a lot more intense than I could have ever imagined this book to go, and I'm really enjoying it. So I'm a little over halfway now, still really loving it. The first 100 pages, I saw someone say this and I was like, yeah, I agree, but the first 100 pages kind of dragged, but from there on it's very immersive and it's crazy. So yeah, I'm about to go get some coffee and then I'm gonna head back home. So yep. Okay, so I've been mostly listening to the book today and I really enjoy the audiobook, and if you have the option to check it out through your library, do it. It's been a really cool experience listening to it. But I just wanted to say, not a spoiler, but Sejanus, the character, I really like him. I think he's going to play a big role by the end, and I mean, he already has a major part in the story, but I feel like by the end it's going to be even bigger. But yeah, this book just took a whole different turn than what I was expecting it to, and I would still recommend people to read this because it's not what I thought it was going to be like. It's nothing like The Hunger Games, which is refreshing. It's from like the view of someone in the Capitol, aka Snow, or Coriolanus, I don't know how to say it, Corio, and it's interesting to see how people thought. about the games and why it is the way it is. And Snow has a much more interesting story than I really thought he would have had. So please read this book, because it's just basically, no, it's not the Hunger Games. You're not going to get the same amount of action or whatever. I mean, it was pretty action-packed there for a second, but the insight is what's really good. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm about to go to a meeting for my job, so that's why I did my hair. Alright, so talk to y'all later, probably real late tonight. Okay, bye. Alrighty, I am near the end of the book. It's about to get crazy. Can't tell you because it's a spoiler, but something just happened, and yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. So I'm about to finish it. I have probably like a little less than 50 pages left, so I'm gonna finish it tonight. I try to keep this vlog part short so I could do like an in-depth review at the end of the video. So yeah, so I'm gonna sit down and finish this, but it's about to go down. Okay, I'm almost done. Like 10 pages left. I'm getting really nervous of what's about to happen. I'm scared to keep reading. I feel like I'm gonna be sad or happy. I don't know. I don't know. Ugh. Okay.
If I had a chance, I'd take it faster than a heartbeat. If I caught a glance, I'd run to you like nobody was watching. But it's so hard to get to you, 'cause when you see the sun, I see the moon.
Okay, you guys. I just finished the book. The ending literally gave me chills. Oh, it was... This... I don't know what to say. This book was literally so different from the Hunger Games because it's coming from someone from the Capitol and their perspective. So obviously it's going to be different. But wow. Oh. I don't know what I'm gonna rate it. I need to think on that. I'll talk more about it tomorrow because I need to process all these thoughts and not just give it 5 stars because I'm riding the wave of how I feel right now. But that ending. Wow. Okay, that's all for tonight. I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow with more in-depth thoughts. Yay. Alright guys, let's get to talking about it. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts. The first portion of this segment is going to be non-spoiler overall thoughts about the book. Then I'm going to get into some spoilers of what I thought was fantastic in this book. So if you haven't read it, read it, come back, and let's discuss this. So, okay, overall, I really enjoyed it. I think my instinct and my gut is telling me to give it 5 stars because I think I had this idea that it was going to be the same like situation as the Hunger Games. Like I thought it was going to be like, yes, from Snow's perspective, but to be only the Hunger Games, just mainly how the other books were. And honestly, the Hunger Games part of this was such a small portion, so I think that's kind of what threw me off at the beginning. I was like, it's like a 4 star, 4.5 maybe. But just like piecing everything together and every little reference in this book that references the Hunger Games trilogy. It was a pure masterpiece. Like, it was a little drawn out, I will say that. That's its only flaw. Like, it was a little, not boring, but it was slower paced, which I don't mind. If it's keeping me interested, I don't mind it being slow. So that wasn't a problem for me. Another part I really liked was getting the perspective from someone in the Capitol during the games, before the games, like the decision making, how all of that came about, where it stemmed from, and knowing that not everyone in the Capitol thinks the same. That was really cool. And there was so much, the book was like 100% symbolism, and I loved it. I would recommend you read this book if you loved the Hunger Games. Like, loved it, you've reread it recently, not just like when you were younger, because I reread it, I cannot talk today. I reread it and loved it just the same, and it hit me just as hard as it did when I was in middle school. So if you love it, read it, just because it's so much history. Like, you just get so much of a backstory about the games and what the Capitol was like, whatever time period this technically was. And I mean, it was just very well thought out, and I really appreciate that. There was obviously flaws. I saw a lot of people hate this book already. I see the flaws of it being kind of drawn out and kind of really slow. But if you just want to know more about the world, read it. Which I wanted to. I genuinely wanted to know how the heck people were okay with this and got brainwashed into this concept. So I give it 5 out of 5 stars just because so many questions were answered. Alright? And it was really good. Alright, now let's get into the juicy part. This book and the symbolism. Oh, okay. First, let's start. Where do we start? Oh, okay. So the beginning of the book, Snow kind of starts like thinking, why does the Capitol do this? Why do we have these games? What's the point of it? Like, it's so horrific and terrible, and what we're doing is bad. So he's thinking these things, and I get hopeful. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe he wasn't always a terrible person and something really, really bad happened to him. Like, that's the only way that could explain any of his actions in the future. Yeah. So that was one thing that I was hoping would happen. We meet the District 12 girl, Lucy Gray. This is Katniss. Such Katniss vibes. And the whole story, the way it played out, it is why Snow hated Katniss so much. And what I really appreciated about Lucy was that she was a singer, so she would sing the songs that were in the Hunger Games, like the Hanging Tree song and the lullaby, I don't know the specific name, that Katniss sings to Rue. And that's why Snow got so furious about Rue's funeral, was because that was Lucy's song. And it just explains so much, like, why did he hate this one girl so much? And like, Snow sort of kind of falls in love with Lucy, not really expecting to, and doesn't want her to die in the game, so he goes extra measures and cheats his way to help her through the games. And the president at the time finds out and makes Snow become a peacekeeper, which is so funny to me. So he's out in District 12 once Lucy wins and becomes a peacekeeper, and is like seeing firsthand how these people live. And then his thoughts kind of get like, oh, okay, well, these people brought it upon themselves, blah blah. I mean, he's a terrible person, we know that. I wasn't expecting much from him. So like, it doesn't make me angry that he was this way because he is this way. So, and Sejanus, oh, Sejanus, I loved his character, and he was like a rebel in the Capitol, pretty much. Just not full-on rebel, but like a rebel sympathizer, not synthesizer. So he like felt really bad for what was happening to all these people. So
love that about him.
And then, you know, Snow has to go ahead and snitch on him, get Sejanus killed, which freaking Snow, you're a terrible person for that. That's when I started to really hate you. And then, you know, he kills the mayor's daughter. Stuff just goes down. But that wasn't really a big deal to me. She didn't matter to me like Sejanus did. And so this whole time he's like, okay, I'm fine with my fate. Like, I'm never gonna get anywhere in the world. Basically, I'm gonna run away with Lucy. So then when they go sneak off trying to run away, and Snow realizes the whole time that she found out about Sejanus and what he did to him and how it was Snow's fault he died. When he realizes that she had turned on him and it was about to go down, that was the best. Like, I just loved getting his perspective. I don't know why, I just loved that part. Like, oh, he realized that this girl done really did one on him and is trying to kill him. So that explains also why he hated Katniss so much. Like, Katniss just reminded him again of Lucy betraying him, sort of. He was trying to betray her too and kill her. So that was the funny part to me. They were both trying to kill each other. So yeah, that's why he hated Katniss so much, because she reminded him so much of Lucy and the girl he loved, that he betrayed her, she betrayed him, and they didn't actually live happily ever after. And then Snow just starts poisoning people to get his way. Like, no offense, I mean, shout out to Lucy for doing it, I guess, but she really kind of triggered him to start being super evil. He was like, well, if I don't get the girl, there's no happiness in my life, so I'm just gonna go around poisoning people and making my way to the tippity top. So yeah, and there's like so many other parts of this book that connected to the Hunger Games. It was amazing. It was so good. I'm not going to talk about everything because this would be a super long video, but just know, like, no, it's not perfect. It is nothing like the Hunger Games other than it's the same world, because it's purely from someone in the Capitol's perspective. Someone in the Capitol that is severely messed up in the head, okay? But it was so cool to see, like, Snow's history, his family history, and all the connections. Like, I want to reread the series again, even though I just read the trilogy, to connect everything now that I know what he went through, and like really focus on Snow this time. This book was crazy, and I understand why people don't necessarily love it. I get it, because I was debating, you know, like, it's just a 4-star, but when I think about how well thought out it was, or it is, that's what was a turning point for me. I just appreciate her doing this for us. Like, she did that, and boy, did she do that. The Hunger Games back then were way more brutal than they are in this future. Crazy. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I loved this book. Please tell me in the comments if you read the book and how you feel about it, because I really am curious. But that's all I had today. Have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!